If you think the deepest parts of the ocean are scary, wait until you see what is lurking in the vast, silent basement of the universe. We often look at the night sky and see a peaceful tapestry of lights, but that is a dangerous illusion. The cosmos is not a quiet neighborhood. It is a playground for monsters that defy every law of logic and every sense of safety we have ever developed. Out there, in the pitch black, there are objects that could swallow our entire solar system without a trace. There are stars that spin so fast they warp the very fabric of time around them. There are invisible walls of energy that could wipe out the atmosphere of a planet from thousands of light years away. Today we are moving past the pretty nebulae and the friendly planets. We are looking at the most terrifying objects ever discovered in the universe. These are the things that make even the bravest astronomers feel small and fragile. And as we go through this list, you'll realize that space is a lot less about exploration and a lot more about survival. First on our list is something that sounds like it was dreamt up in a nightmare, but it is a physical reality. It is called a magnetar. Imagine a star that has collapsed into a ball only about 20 kilometers wide, yet it weighs more than our sun. That alone is intense, but a magnetar takes it further. It possesses a magnetic field so incredibly powerful that it is a trillion times stronger than the magnetic field of the Earth. To put that in perspective, if a magnetar were to simply drift into our neighborhood, say about halfway to the moon, every credit card on Earth would be instantly wiped. But that's the mild part. If you got within 1,000 kilometers of one, the magnetic field would be so overwhelming that it would literally pull the atoms in your body into long, thin cylinders. Your very molecular structure would stretch and dissolve because the electrical bonds holding you together couldn't compete with the magnetic grip of the star. It is a place where the laws of chemistry simply cease to function. Occasionally, these monsters have starquakes where the crust of the magnetar cracks. This releases a burst of energy called a soft gamma repeater. One of these bursts, occurring 50,000 light-years away, once hit Earth's atmosphere with enough energy to briefly compress our magnetic field. If it had been closer, it would have been a global catastrophe. It is a silent, invisible trap waiting in the dark. Moving from magnetic monsters to gravitational ones, we have to talk about TON 618. For a long time, we thought we understood the scale of black holes. We knew about the ones a few times the mass of the Sun and the supermassive ones at the center of galaxies. But then we found TON 618. This is an ultra-massive black hole that resides at the center of a distant quasar. It is 66 billion times the mass of our Sun. It is so large that its event horizon, the point of no return, could fit 11 of our solar systems side by side. If you replaced our Sun with TON 618, the outer planets wouldn't just be orbiting a black hole. They would be inside it. It is a cosmic drain so vast that it consumes the equivalent of hundreds of suns every single year. The energy it releases as it feeds makes it one of the brightest objects in the known universe, shining with the light of 140 trillion suns. It is terrifying because of its sheer, unadulterated scale. It represents the absolute limit of how much matter can be packed into a single point, a hole in the universe so big that our minds can't even begin to process the volume of space it has erased. Then there are the rogue planets. We think of planets as stable things, orbiting their suns in a predictable loop. But the universe is full of orphans. These are planets that were kicked out of their solar systems by gravitational tug-of-wars billions of years ago. They are now drifting through the absolute zero vacuum of interstellar space, lone wanderers in the dark. What makes them terrifying is that they are almost impossible to see. They don't emit light, and they aren't near a star that would reflect light off them. They are giant, freezing masses of rock or gas flying through the void at thousands of kilometers per second. There could be billions of them in our galaxy alone. One could be heading toward our solar system right now, and we wouldn't know it until its gravity started wreaking havoc on the orbits of our outer planets. They are the stealth bombers of the cosmos, silent and cold, moving through the shadows between the stars. Next, we encounter the Great Attractor. This isn't a single object, but a massive gravitational anomaly that is pulling everything in our part of the universe toward it. Our galaxy, along with thousands of others, is being dragged through space at a speed of about 600 kilometers per second. The scary part: we can't see what's pulling us. It lies in a region of the sky called the zone of avoidance, which is hidden behind the thick dust and gas of our own Milky Way galaxy. We are being hauled toward a mysterious, invisible destination that has the mass of tens of thousands of galaxies. It's like being on a boat in the middle of a foggy ocean and realizing you're in a powerful current heading toward a massive waterfall you can't see. We don't know if it's a giant cluster of galaxies or something much more exotic and dangerous, and there is absolutely nothing we can do to stop the drift. Number 5 on our list is a phenomenon known as gamma-ray bursts, or GRBs. These are the most powerful explosions in the universe since the Big Bang. They occur when a massive star collapses or when two neutron stars collide. In a few seconds, a GRB can release as much energy as our sun will emit in its entire 10 billion-year life. They send out a focused beam of intense radiation across the cosmos. If one of these beams were to hit Earth from even a few thousand light-years away, it would strip away our ozone layer instantly. Without the ozone, the sun's ultraviolet light would flood the surface, ending life as we know it. The terrifying thing is that these bursts travel at the speed of light. There would be no warning. 1 second the sky is normal, and the next, the atmosphere is being chemically altered. It's a cosmic sniper that could fire at any time from anywhere in the galaxy. We see them happening in distant galaxies all the time, and every time we do, it's a reminder of just how fragile our little blue marble really is. If you think those are bad, let's talk about the Bodi's void. Imagine a region of space so empty that it defies the laws of cosmic structure. This great nothing is 330 million light-years across. In a region that size, you would expect to find thousands of galaxies. Instead, there is almost nothing. It is a hole in the universe. If you were in a galaxy in the center of the Buddha's void, you would look out into the night sky and see nothing but darkness. No stars, no neighbor galaxies, just the void. Scientists aren't entirely sure how such a massive area could become so empty. Some theories suggest it's the result of smaller voids merging together, while others, more speculative, wonder if something is clearing out that space. It is a haunting, lonely expanse that reminds us that the universe isn't just full of dangerous things. Sometimes, the danger is the absolute lack of anything at all. Then we have the vampire stars, officially known as blue stragglers. In older clusters of stars, you expect to see the stars aging at roughly the same rate. But occasionally, astronomers find stars that look much younger, hotter, and bluer than their neighbors. They have found a way to cheat the aging process. How? They suck the outer layers of hydrogen off a companion star. They are gravitational parasites. By draining the lifeblood of another star, they can stay young and bright while their victim slowly shrivels away. It is a violent, slow-motion theft that happens over millions of years. These stars are a reminder that even in the serene-looking star clusters, there is a constant struggle for fuel and survival. It's a literal vampire of the cosmos, thriving only because it is taking from another. Number 8 is the concept of vacuum decay. This is arguably the most terrifying idea in all of physics. It suggests that our universe might be in a false vacuum state. Think of it like a ball sitting on a ledge. It looks stable, but if it gets a tiny push, it will fall to a lower energy state. If the vacuum of our universe were to trip into a lower energy state at any point, it would create a bubble of true vacuum. This bubble would expand at the speed of light in all directions. Inside the bubble, the laws of physics would be completely different. Atoms would fall apart, gravity might stop working, chemistry as we know it would vanish. Because the bubble moves at the speed of light, we would never see it coming. It would simply be the end of everything, instantly. One moment we exist, and the next, the very fabric of our reality is rewritten by a cosmic wave of fundamental change. It is the ultimate delete button for existence. Next, let's talk about hypervelocity stars. Usually, stars move in a predictable orbit around the center of their galaxy, but sometimes a star gets too close to the supermassive black hole at the galactic center. Instead of being swallowed, it gets caught in a gravitational slingshot. The black hole flings the star out of the galaxy at millions of kilometers per second. These stars are literally runaways, flying through space so fast that they will eventually escape the galaxy's gravity altogether and head into the empty intergalactic void. Imagine a sun-sized ball of fire traveling at 4 million miles per hour, screaming through local space. If such a star passed through our solar system, its gravity would tear our orbits apart, sending planets flying into the dark or crashing into each other. It's a massive, unguided projectile moving through the dark, and there are thousands of them out there. Finally, we have the strangelets. This comes from the theory of strange matter. Inside the ultra-dense core of a neutron star, the pressure might be so high that protons and neutrons dissolve into a soup of quarks. This is called strange matter. The terrifying part of the theory is that strange matter might be more stable than the normal matter we are made of. If a small piece of this strange matter, called a strangelet, were to escape a neutron star and come into contact with Earth, it could start a chain reaction. It would convert every atom it touches into strange matter. The entire Earth would be converted into a single, dense, hot ball of strange matter the size of a stadium. It would be like a contagion at the atomic level, transforming the world into something unrecognizable and alien. While this is still a theoretical threat, the math behind it is sound enough that it gives physicists pause. It's a matter-eating substance that would rewrite the identity of our planet bit by bit. The common thread between all these objects and phenomena is that they remind us of how little control we have. We like to think of space as a place we will eventually conquer, but these things show us that we are guests in a very dangerous house. The universe operates on scales of energy and mass that our human biology can't even encounter. A magnetar doesn't care about our technology. A gamma-ray burst doesn't care about our history. And vacuum decay doesn't care about our future. It's also worth thinking about how we even know these things exist. We can't visit them. We can't touch them. We only know they are there because we've learned to read the faint whispers of light and gravity they send across the void. The fact that we can detect a magnetar 50,000 light-years away is a testament to human ingenuity. But the reality of what that magnetar can do is a testament to our vulnerability. We are detectives in a crime scene where the perpetrators are as big as suns and as fast as light. Think about the rogue planets again for a moment. Most of what we see in the sky is vibrant: stars, nebulae, galaxies. But for every star you see, there might be dozens of these dark worlds drifting in between. It changes the way you look at the empty space between stars. It's not actually empty. It's filled with the ghosts of failed solar systems, frozen worlds that have been in the dark for billions of years. It's a vast cosmic graveyard, and we are just sailing through it on our little lit-up island of a planet. The Great Attractor is another layer of the mystery. It's one thing to be afraid of an object you can see, like a black hole. It's another thing entirely to realize that your entire galaxy is being pulled toward a phantom mass. It suggests that there are structures in the universe so large that we can't even see the whole picture. We are like ants on a leaf in a river, oblivious to the fact that the entire river is heading toward a drain. The scale of the universe is not just big, it is hypermassive, and our perspective is naturally limited. What about the vampire stars? They show us that the heavens are not as serene as they look in a long-exposure photograph. There is a constant, violent exchange of energy. Gravity is not just a hand that holds things together, it's a mouth that can consume. These stars represent the ruthless efficiency of the universe. Where there is energy to be taken, it will be taken. Laws of survival don't just apply to jungles on Earth. They apply to the life cycles of the stars themselves. And then there is the delete button of vacuum decay. This mystery touches on the very nature of nothingness. We think of a vacuum as empty, but in physics, a vacuum is a field full of potential. If that field isn't at its lowest point, the universe is inherently unstable. It's a chilling thought that the very vacuum we occupy could be incorrect or temporary. It means the universe is a work in progress, and the next update could be one that doesn't include us. Despite the terror these objects evoke, there is also a profound sense of wonder. The fact that these things exist at all shows the versatility of the universe. From the ghostly rogue planets to the monstrous Ton 618, the cosmos is a theater of extremes. It pushes matter and energy to the absolute edge of what is possible. By studying these terrifying objects, we learn about the limits of reality. We learn what happens when gravity wins every battle, when magnetic fields become weapons, and when the laws of atoms are ignored. It's also a reminder to cherish the stability we have. We live in a very boring part of the universe, and that is a very good thing. Our sun is a stable, middle-aged star. Our planet is protected by a magnetic field that is just strong enough to shield us but not strong enough to turn us into needles. We are far away from any active quasars or magnetars. Our boring neighborhood is the only reason we are here to talk about these things in the first place. The universe is a dangerous place, and we are living in one of the few safe havens. As we look forward, our telescopes are going to find even more. Every time we increase our sensitivity, we find a new class of objects that shouldn't exist. We found black holes when we thought they were just math errors. We found pulsars when we thought they were alien signals. We found gamma-ray bursts when we were looking for nuclear test violations. The next great terror is likely sitting in the data right now, waiting for someone to realize what they are looking at. The universe is a place of infinite story and infinite danger. We are small, but our curiosity is huge. We have looked into the dark and found things that make us tremble, yet we keep looking. We keep building bigger eyes and more sensitive ears because we want to know the truth of where we live. Even if the truth is that we live in a neighborhood full of monsters, it's better to know the monsters are there than to stay in the dark. So, the next time you look at the stars, remember the magnetars and the rogue planets. Remember the great attractor pulling us into the unknown. Remember the vampires and the runaways. The night sky isn't just a pretty view. It's a window into a vast, energetic, and often terrifying reality. We are the observers of this grand, chaotic show. And while the actors may be scary, the performance is the most spectacular thing in existence. The universe is not just mostly empty, it is mostly unpredictable. We've spent a few thousand years trying to map it, but we're only looking at the surface of the ocean. Deep down, beneath the visible light and the familiar stars, the real power of the cosmos is moving. It's moving in the invisible magnetic fields, the crushing gravity of ultra-massive black holes, and the silent drift of rogue worlds. There is a peace to be found in this perspective. If the universe is full of such massive, unstoppable forces, then our daily worries and local conflicts seem much less significant. We are all on this one small rock together, sailing through a sea of magnetars and voids. It makes you realize that the most important thing we have is each other, and the curiosity that allows us to find these things in the first place. The terrifying objects of the universe aren't just there to scare us, they are there to challenge us. They challenge our math, our physics, and our philosophy. They force us to redefine what we mean by stable and permanent. They are the landmarks of the infinite, the signs that the universe is far greater than any one species could ever comprehend. So, keep looking up. But as you do, keep in mind that the beauty you see is balanced by a power that is nearly impossible to fathom. The stars are bright, but the space between them is deep and full of secrets. Some of those secrets are beautiful, some are mysterious, and some are, quite frankly, terrifying. But they are all part of the same incredible story. The story of a universe that is vast, energetic, and completely and utterly alive with power. We are just getting started in our journey of discovery. Every day, the map gets a little bigger, and the list of monsters gets a little longer. But that is the price of knowledge. To know the light of the sun, we have to recognize the cold of the void. To understand the safety of Earth, we have to look at the danger of the magnetar. It is all one system. A grand and terrifying design that we are lucky enough to witness. The most terrifying objects in the universe are also the most fascinating. They represent the edge of the map. They are the here-be dragons of the modern age. And for a species of explorers, there's no more exciting place to look. The cosmos is waiting, monsters and all, and we are just beginning to see what is really out there in the deep. Stay curious, stay humble, and remember that in the vastness of space, the most incredible thing isn't the black hole or the magnetar. It's the fact that we can see them at all. That is the true miracle of our existence. That we, from our tiny vantage point, can peer into the heart of the most terrifying things in existence and begin to understand how they work. That is our power, and that is why we will never stop looking.